Well, midnight is rather late hour for a guest to arrive, especially if the guest was not expected. However, it was common for the people to travel at night in Palestine because it was cooler and it was considered unwise to journey long in the heat of the midday sun. And unfortunately, when this unexpected guest arrived, his friend had no food in the house. This was not only distressing, but also embarrassing for the host. In the East, hospitality is regarded as a sacred duty. And on the other hand, getting up from bed in the middle of the night is such an annoyance. And getting up from one spot in one room house and walking all over everybody else to unbolt the door is even worse bother for everyone in the house. Now being pestered by a neighbor who lacked foresight and now demands groceries just when you ought to be sleeping tight can be annoying. For persistent knocking at the door is another intensification of the idea of asking and seeking. Who would want to be disturbed when common sense dictates that no one ought to be doing that? Well, welcome to the world of impatient human beings like you and me. Well, today's reflection is not about you and me, thank God. We are an impatient lot. But we can thank God even more because today's gospel passage is not about the prayer, but about the one we should be praying to. With faith, yes. With persistence, yes. Unceasingly, yes. Horgan Moltmann says, prayer is not a servant's desperate begging, nor is it the insistence of a demanding child. Prayer in Christ's name is the language of friendship. And if that is true of the one who asks in prayer, it is all the more accurate of the one who answers prayers. In 1850, an American novelist, Nathaniel, published a story entitled The Great Stone Face. It's about a gigantic and noble face that nature had carved on the side of a mountain overlooking a village. An old legend said that one day, one of the villagers would come to resemble that majestic, saintly stone face. A young lad longed for such a man to show up one day. Meanwhile, he passed all his leisure hours contemplating the stone face. Time passed, the lad became an older man. One day, the villagers realized with shock that his luminously holy face had become the exact resemblance to the great stone face. In the gospel reading today, Jesus tells us, ask and it will be given to you. Knock and the door will be opened for you. And there is a mystery here for many of us. Because we ask for many things which we never receive. We wait long and our faith is shaken. But Jesus does not say that we will necessarily receive what we ask for, only that something will be given to us. And it always is, if not what we asked for, then always something better. Perhaps something better is the slow transformation that takes place in ourselves if we look at God long enough. And don't be afraid to knock, for it will transform us.